I'm Gwendolyn Mullinax.
I'm Haley Thompson.
And I'm Michael Breckenridge, and we're the July 16th group, and this is our final project, Project 16.
We're going to talk about the surefire ways to go through EDM310. EDM310 is a technology-based class. This version was designed by Dr. Strange. So what is EDM310?
I don't know. Let's find out.
It's definitely not the Burt-Back method of learning. The Burt-Back method is when you take a student's COLCAT, we're just going to take it out and set it to the side, dump in all the knowledge they need to know for their test, put their skull cap back on, and then they burp it back out for you for a test. And after that, everything you've memorized is gone. EDM310 gives you the tools you need, but you are expected to be an independent learner. And being an independent learner for this class is a must. You only meet as a class for about once a month. If you want to pass this class, being an independent learner is a must. EDM310 teaches the values of technology and how to use them within our classrooms, and to prepare our students to be able to use top technologies and technologies that haven't even been invented yet. The classroom lab is always open, and there are always a lab assistant there to help you, but do not ask them to do the work for you. You will be wasting your breath. You can contact the lab assistants and Dr. Strange through Facebook, Twitter, email, phone, and when you're not in the classroom for help.
EDM310 requires a lot of tools, some being Blogger, Twitter, Symbaloo, Skype, Green Screen, Pinterest, YouTube, and iMovie. And I'd also advise you to learn a little about the Mac before entering this class. A few of these tools sound like games or just social media, but if you use them for educational purposes, you can learn a lot of information from teachers across the world. At first I wasn't very open-minded about this class, but after reading blogs, my eyes were truly open from all the information and advice I had gained. Symbaloo helps with your personal learning network and helps keep you organized. Skype, we used it to communicate on how we're going to set up our projects. We also watched a few Skype interviews throughout the year. We used Twitter by following educational leaders and teachers around the world, and we learned the techniques they use in their classroom. YouTube, we watched a lot of lectures. Some were very time-consuming, like Randy Pausch's last lecture where he talked about the head fake for an hour and 15 minutes. I mean, it was really time-consuming, but you learned a lot from it. On iMovie, we used it to create videos and shared them to YouTube, and this can only be done on a Mac. The green screen was probably my favorite thing all year. I didn't know anything about it, but you simply stand in front of a green screen, record, and upload the video to the computer, and from there you choose any scene you would like to be in. Pinterest, I didn't know much about it, and I was kind of like closed-minded at first, but then I realized it can give you ideas for lesson plans and activities and how to set up your classroom. I definitely plan on using these tools in my future classroom, especially Blogger and instructional YouTube videos. I believe children will enjoy learning more by using these techniques.
Alright, once again, my name is Michael Breckenridge, and I'm going to give you 5 surefire ways to pass EDM310. Way number 1 is dedicate a certain time for EDM310. Mine, every night I dedicated 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. to do EDM310. The reason I did this is because EDM310 takes literally 9 hours a week to do. They say 9 hours, and I know I thought to myself, 9 hours, I'll probably make it like 4 hours, if that, but it legitimately takes 9 hours. So make sure you have certain times, and don't procrastinate. Also, with don't procrastinate, that means like don't wait till Saturday or Sunday to do your work, because like I just said, it takes a long time to do this work. And another way to pass is to do it on time. If you turn your work in before Sunday at midnight, you're guaranteed to get an A. The second step is keep an open mind. You can't come into this class thinking it's going to suck, because if you do, you're automatically going to have a bad attitude. Dr. Strange is probably going to see that bad attitude, and he's already going to write you off. If you come in thinking, hey, I might learn how to be a good teacher, I might learn how to use technology for my classroom, you're definitely going to have a better chance to succeed and ultimately make an A. Another thing with keeping an open mind is don't think something is useless until you try it. Dr. Strange uses Twitter, for example, and I have to use the same thing because when I first saw it about Twitter, I thought it was just my friends updating their statuses about what they've had for lunch and like what teachers they hate and all this nonsense. But actually, on Twitter, you can ask questions, you can follow teachers that will give you ideas about what to do for lessons, and they'll be extremely helpful in you teaching your future classroom. Another thing is Pinterest. Like, honestly, I thought Pinterest was just something my girlfriend liked to do whenever she was bored. But you can actually get lessons plans and all sorts of things from Pinterest. So don't write anything off until you actually know for yourself. The third thing is to be able to write on a third grade level. In this classroom, we have to do comments for kids, comments for classmates, and comments for teachers. And you're going to be seen by future employees, all your classmates and peers, and all your friends. So, and if they see that you can't even write on a third grade level, there's no way you're going to be able to get a job in the future if you can't even get a blog post commented on a third grader's post. The fourth thing is check the class blog daily. This is a big one because Dr. Strange will have, if he thinks you didn't interpret the assignment correctly, then he will definitely add a special blog post to make sure that you understand what his reasoning was for assigning that post. Another reason you should check the blog post daily is because there are plenty of tips from other students on their blogs on what to do for that week's blog or what to do for any other thing you might need to do, such as activities, blog posts, projects. And also on the daily blog, there's links to instruction manuals on how to do all these projects, all these activities, and all of these blog posts. So if you check the class blog daily, it's a good way to make an A. The final thing is don't be afraid to ask questions. There are lab assistants in the lab every day. They're friendly too. When I first came in, I thought these lab assistants are going to know everything. They're going to think I'm an idiot for asking these stupid questions, but that's not true at all. They'll help you with even the simplest question. So, I mean, if you're stuck on something, be sure to ask. Don't be too prideful to think, wow, I'm just going to suck it up and not do this. Make sure you do it and ask questions. Another thing, if there's no one in the lab, which there will be, but if there is no one in the lab, there's an online thing. You can email them and they'll help you. They'll go step through step. They're not going to do the work for you, but they will help you get it done. So if you follow these 5 ways, dedicate a certain time, keep an open mind, be able to write on a third grade level, check the class blog daily, and don't be afraid to ask questions, there's no way you won't pass EDM310.